Because if your eyes are wandering, you're trying to focus on other things, like, it's gonna give that you're looking for a way out of this conversation. Maybe you are, but you don't need to let them know that. Hey guys, it's L2 WhatItDo because I'm back with another video, and today it's another segment of spilling the tea for the girlies. So I recently just came back from Mardi Gras in New Orleans, and that was a time. I've been a little distant and a little away from all my social media platforms because I've been on vacations like back to back, and then in New Orleans my phone was stolen because your girl was being a little too social, a little too out there, that they got me. The pickpockets got me. Note to self, Bourbon Street, the pickpockets are there. I should have known. I should have been prepared. But I'm letting you guys know. But me going on that trip really is the reason why I'm making this video, because that was me being social in a completely new setting. And usually I go on trips with groups, but this one was just me and my bestie that lives out there. So we really had to make things happen for ourselves. And you know how we did that? By mastering our social confidence. I think lately, now that I've been in the workplace, me having social confidence has helped me so much, but also being in a team atmosphere, a public atmosphere at my workplace that's like a large corporation, you have to be social in order to meet people, network, and get places. So I put together 5 steps that have helped me master my social confidence. And as always, I have a definition for you guys. Confidence is the feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciations of one's own abilities or qualities. I think now that I've actually reflected for myself, I know how to appreciate the things and the qualities that I have, and that I can transmit to others or transfer energy to others. You being confident can be felt from people around the room. If you seem shy, nobody's gonna want to approach you. Like, they're gonna be like, oh, she's a little timid, she's a little to herself, like, let me just respect her boundaries, her space. If you exude confidence and that you're sure of yourself, people will gravitate towards you. And I really saw this when I was in New Orleans, because we were just 2 people and a lot of people were there in groups. It's made it a little bit easier for you to navigate like where you should go, create vibes for yourself. But when it's just 2 people, you have to create a vibe where you're at. I tried my best to just be approachable, and it worked. Like, literally, I had guys coming up to me, I had girls coming up to me, like, everyone was so nice, and I was wondering, like, why is that? But I feel like I was really in the mindset of, I want to be social. Like, if someone approaches me, I'm entertaining the conversation. If I see a girly out on the streets, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love your outfit. Like, it's just the little things, and once you start doing them, it becomes easier for you to put it into your lifestyle and the way that you operate. And at the end of the day, me and my friends being social, like, that helps you have a better time. You create a better atmosphere for yourself wherever you go, and you have fun doing it. Because you don't want to be miserable and shy and timid to yourself and then just feel like this vibe sucks, like the place sucks. When really, if you just created a vibe for yourself, you can make anywhere fun. So let's jump into this video with the first step, which is self-awareness. You have to know that you are that girl. And I know that I say that so often, people say that so often, but if you want to be social, you have to feel like you have value as a person. And that people should want to get to know you. People should want to talk to you and hear what you have to say. And if you don't feel like that, all of the other steps I'm telling you just aren't even gonna be worth it, because it starts from within, as most things do. And if you don't feel that way, you gotta figure out why you don't. I feel like when I'm in social atmospheres, I do things to make sure that I'm ready to be in that atmosphere. Like, if you're an introvert, you need to mentally prepare yourself to be in that atmosphere. And the self-awareness aspect also comes into your environment, and you need to understand the environment that you're in and the circumstances that you've been put in to see what should be the vibe that you're putting forth in whatever environment you're in. So if we're thinking about it in terms of Mardi Gras, I already know that if I go onto Bourbon Street, everyone is trying to be social. Everyone's trying to have a good time. So if I just look like I'm a good time, people are gonna be gravitated towards me. But then there's the other side of things where if you're in an environment where you know people are social, people are drinking, having a ball, and that is not your vibe, and you wear that on your face like you're uncomfortable, people are not gonna think that you're approachable. But you should know to not put yourself in an environment like that if that's not what you're looking to do. But personally, I love a vibe where everyone is just getting lit, having fun, meeting people, because those are the times where people are looking to just strike up a conversation. Like, you know that Bourbon Street, Mardi Gras, New Orleans, like, people are flocking to those areas to celebrate, and the people that you meet aren't usually from the area. So you just learn so much about people. Like, that's why I love traveling. You really just get exposed to so many different people and cultures, and it makes you better for it. But after this trip, I'm chilling out because your girl does not have a phone right now. Switching gears to point number 2, which is your body language. The key has and always will be to seem approachable. If your body language is like, also crossed arms is always an indicator of unapproachable. It gives insecure, it gives uninterested. Like, open up your body. That is just a known thing. You need to open up your body, open up your stance, and seem inviting. But for real, when you're in social settings, the more open you are, especially physically, people will feel more comfortable approaching you. And that's what we want at the end of the day, so you could actually be social. Personally, when I enter situations where I'm trying to meet people, like, I find it so hard to go up to people first, but what I will do is I will smile first. That is the easiest step, I would say, to actually seeming like you're a social person, you actually want to engage in a conversation with people, other than you really just going up to that person and being like, hey, my name is so-and-so. So for me, I walk around with a big old smile, because once you're smiling, people are gonna be like, oh my God, you're so pretty, or I love your smile, you look so happy. Like, it's just little things. Like, it's just the nuances that you gotta learn when you're in social environments, but a smile always goes a long way, and it takes the least amount of effort. Keep in mind, when you're talking to people, you need to look engaged and interested. And this is always a key indicator of if a person is actually enjoying talking to you, is if they're maintaining eye contact, if there's like a head nod, like there's little nuances that you should be doing in a conversation. Even if you aren't entertained by what they're saying, if you want to seem like it, you can, just by doing simple things like a yeah, or looking at them. Because if your eyes are wandering, you're trying to focus on other things, like, it's gonna give that you're looking for a way out of this conversation. Maybe you are, but you don't need to let them know that. So piggybacking off of that, step number 3 is positive speech. A compliment goes a long way. And I often find that the way people even come up to me and create conversations with me is just by a compliment. When you think about it, if someone compliments you, you're automatically happy. Like, if someone compliments me, I'm just like, oh my gosh, you really took the time out of your day to give me a compliment just to make me feel good. Obviously, I'm gonna wanna entertain a conversation with you. Because when people hype you up, and then you go and hype other people up, the vibes are always just good. And like, that is really what makes a great social atmosphere, is when people are really connecting, seeing what people are doing, like congratulating people on goals or telling people they look good. Like, those types of atmosphere is what keeps the crowd uplifted, which is why you should always probably lead with a compliment if you have nothing else to say. When I think back to Mardi Gras, a lot of the girls that came up to me first, it was them being like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty. That's it. That's literally all they said. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty. And I'm like, oh, happy Mardi Gras. And we just start dancing, and we're all just dancing on the dance floor. Like, it just gives a united front. Like, all of us girlies are supporting each other. Also, I find that with girls, sometimes it can be like you're competing. Like, people will see you walk in and like they think like automatically you're stush, you're like rude. And when you're approachable, or you actually do approach them, it's like, oh, we're all good here. We're all trying to be friendly. Like, let's just have a good time together. We don't have to be separate and looking at each other like, who's that? Who's that? We don't know who you are. Nobody knows who you are. So then once people started doing that to me, I started doing that to other people, because I'm like, that was the easiest way for us to all get along and be like, oh my gosh, where are you from? Because we're all here for Mardi Gras. Like, tell me about yourself, basically. And that just kept the good times going. Like, once you start with the kickoffs, it's like, oh, now we're just talking about like the DJ on stage. Oh, we're all vibing up to this song. We love Drake. Like, there's just so many things we can connect on after that. And that's just for the sheer fact that when you're positive and transmit that energy onto others, other people will be drawn to you. If we're thinking about like you being in social settings and trying to meet people and like meet people that you might be interested in, like guys love a fun girl. Like, there's no two ways about it. If they look at you and you look like you are having fun, they're gonna wanna have fun with you. Like, what extent you take that to, I don't know. But I'm just letting you know, People are more drawn to you if you look happy, if you look like you're having a great time on your own. And mind you, you don't need other people, men, women, to make you have a good time, but you yourself should try and have a good time. And for me, I was about to be happy, I was gonna let people know I'm happy, and I was gonna try and make other people happy too. We're all in this together. It was a Marty party. Which brings me to step number 4, which is step out of your comfort zone. When I tell you, at first I was very intimidated by the fact that it was just my friend and I on this trip, because usually it's more than 2 people in a party scenario. Like when I went to New York with my other bestie, that was like chill vibes. We really just like on the go, going to all these tourist attractions. But us going to Mardi Gras, to party, to be on Bourbon Street in a crowd, I'm like, that was a lot of people to just be a group of 2. So I knew that I was gonna have to step out of my comfort zone and talk to people to actually get numbers where we were. Because as a girl, it is way better to feel secure wherever you are with other girls. Because girls usually look out for girls. There is times where obviously they don't, but 9 times out of 10, if a girl sees like another girl getting into a fight with somebody at the club, but you were friends with the other girls that you met, they'd be like, oh, no, we're all good here. Like, we're all good. At least I would do that. So for me, I was like, wherever we go, I'm going to be nice. I don't want anyone trying to make no problems with me in America. So that was another key factor. But you have to be cognizant of you stepping out of your comfort zone. Like, if you're in a social setting, put yourself out there to meet the new people that you want to meet, or to have a good time that you're trying to have. I remember when we were on Bourbon Street, I'm like, this is fun, like finally like, we're being social, we're just going to places. One thing I feel like when you're in a new environment, you're just kind of nervous about where to even go in the environment, but just go. Like for us, one of the things was just going up on balconies. Some of the balconies you had to pay for, but a lot of them you didn't, but people thought you did it because they were just too nervous to even try going up on a balcony. We went up onto the balcony, people were so nice, giving us beads to throw, we're throwing it to the crowd. I'm like, this is great. This is literally why we're here on Bourbon Street. Then we're in a club, and I was like, there is girls on that stage that are just dancing like they didn't even care. It was just very silly. So we walked over to the club and got on stage. Why? Because we were just being confident. We're trying to have a good time, and nobody was gonna stop somebody walking on the stage that was trying to have a good time. And we had a ball. We were having a ball. So if you're nervous about putting yourself out there, honestly, don't overthink it, just try. The worst that can happen is somebody will tell you no. So now for our last point, step number 5, which is to prepare and rehearse. So in my case, I knew I was going to Mardi Gras. I already knew. For me to be confident, my hair had to look good. I had to pre-straighten my hair so that when I got down there, I was just curling it. But that made me feel confident. I was ready every single day. Makeup done. Makeup done. We even had like little costumes that we got, because we're like, we want to seem like we really are in the Mardi Gras spirit. So we got those colors on. I had a headband on. I had all my beads on to look like I'm really out here having a ball, catching these beads. Let me insert a pic. It was giving very much fun girl. And that's what people were complimenting me on. Like, one girl was like, I love the jewels on your face, because I had jewels on my face. I was like, thank you. Because it took effort for me to even do that, and I'm glad you noticed. But when I think about it, me adding all that stuff and having like the extra accessories, it gave people something to talk about. It made me more approachable, which is what you want in a social setting. But now, if you're very nervous, what I would suggest is rehearsing. Because if you're not good at thinking of topics on your feet or carrying on a conversation, you need to have little topics in the back of your head that you could pull out when people are talking to you, so you feel less nervous about entertaining a conversation. Thankfully, when you're in an atmosphere where there's an overall theme, it's very easy to just strike a conversation about what the theme is. But if you're not, I would definitely suggest preparing statements or topics around the event that you're going to, so that you're more comfortable when you get there. But at the end of the day, guys, just put yourself out there, experience new settings, because once you keep doing it and throwing yourself into the mix, it'll become like second nature for you to just strike up a conversation with a stranger, or be friendly, know the mannerisms, keep an open mind. Like, that's what we're really aiming for in this life, because the more you know, and the more people you know, the more fun you're gonna have. But that's the end of the video, guys. You guys know the drill. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below any videos you guys have for me, because I will do them. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.
you.